intelligence, which is like basically building a computer into being able to deal with unknowns, which is
or known unknowns, as Rumsfeld would say.
As Rumsfeld would say, but they realized that like high processing AIs had to sleep, where it's like when they slept, what they did is they would
because they're gonna have to give. That's my thing. I think that's like where my subconscious is like being like, you're gonna have to give these fuckers dreams, and like these thoughts I'm talking about that just pop in your head and shit. Like, you're gonna have to create that type of magic in them to get them to like yearn.
I mean, that's
because when you can just
do androids dream of electric sheep, you know?
Yeah, like when you can just process everything, it's like you don't wonder about anything. You're like, check. Yeah. Everything processed. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you gave them dream mode,
you needed breath, man.
And just started like fucking with them the way I feel like I get fucked with in my dreams, so, like you would have a hard time going back into just, oh, yep, we're just running the tasks and I'm done. It's just like, yeah. But what the fuck was that dream about where I was, like, melting into the asphalt and shit? Like,
I think that's, like, the main drive is, like, people want... So, to make the world happen, you have to be in drive. But people want that moment of fucking not drive mode. People want to be going down the hill... They pop it into neutral, and you're just coasting for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you get
That's
a
why
second...
I like single-speed bikes, dude. It's just like... Sometimes you just want to... Just sit there.
Exactly. And it's like... That's what a dream is to me, is like... I get a moment to not have my hands on anything that's happening. I get to just look at it. And that's like... It's the most anxiety, like... producing way you can like...
I was about to be like, dude, I
no.
am exhausted at the end of dreams.
But everybody wants to start the engine and have it just run. And that's what
but nobody
a
likes
dream
to have
is.
their fucking shit dipped.
As long as you don't have to be the one that assembled the engine, you're square. Like, you could just leave. But if you set that engine up and you run it for the first time and that fucker blows the seal, that means that you fucked up somewhere. Okay. And everybody wants that moment of like, hey, I'm just here to fucking watch. And that's why spectator events are the most fucked up situation you could be in. Because everybody here is putting on a show for you, and whether you are the person in the ring doing a fucking tombstone right now, getting tombstoned, which is like legitimately one of the scariest things you could do as a person, even if it's completely safe. If that guy breaks his fucking neck and you're in the stands, that shit's fucked up.
Have you ever seen a dead body?
Fuck yeah. I watched a guy turn into a dead body. Like, randomly. Like, on the street, just like Kyle and I were driving somewhere, and this guy fucking thought we were ramrodding, and he was like, alright, I'm gonna be on these guys' tip. He fucking guns it around us.
Oh, shit.
And he fucking broadsides an SUV that was pulling out of the cemetery. You know what I mean? And it's just like...
Do you feel responsible for that at all?
No.
You kind of like, you know... You put that little bit of blood in his dick.
Well,
I don't mean... I'm not trying to...
I definitely thought about it where it's like, even though I was 3 steps removed from, like, him driving, to Kyle driving, to me sitting in the passenger seat.
Word. Okay.
Like, even though I even, like, was like, well, technically, if I was on the legal docket, I would have got off. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like...
Okay.
At the end of the day, if I was driving that bike...
That's not on you.
If I was driving that bike and I broadsided the car and killed myself, and I went to heaven and they were like, hey, fool, got anything to tell us real quick, confession style? I'd be like, hey, man, I forgive those guys that, like, kind of got me riled up. Like, that was my bad. You know what I mean? Like, That'd be the first thing I said. And I bet you, like, I don't know, whatever that fool did, like, whatever happened to that guy after that guy passed on, I saw it happen. And, like, I hope that fool's up there in fucking heaven if he's there. And I'm gonna be like, yo, I watched you fucking die, bro. That shit changed my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna give him some daps and I'll be like, bro, tell me what the fuck happened. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so the way I feel about it is like, if that fool fucking has any hard feelings, I hope he's in hell. That's, you know how I feel? Like, it's like, if you're fucking stewing on that, I hope you're down in hell.
If anything, it's like,
and I get
you're
to hang
the
out.
grown-ass man in that situation.
Exactly.
And didn't need to let,
that fool's wearing a tank top.
For sure.
That guy's dead.
For sure.
You
And
know
I'm
what
not
saying?
trying to
It's
rag
like,
on him either.
No, I'm not
just,
either. Where I'm just like,
playing
hey,
devil's
fool,
advocate.
like, at the end of the day, like, you thought we were trying to race? Nah, fool, that car just sounds like it's trying to race. You were trying to race.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like,
me and my buddy Andrew found a dead body across the street from our job in February one year when we were working at the screen printing shop. And that was gnarly. But one time when I was in Bend, Oregon, I was fucking driving up there to go try and, like, pursue a long-distance relationship with this chick. And,
in Bend?
no, she lived in Portland. It's fucking stupid. Shouldn't have gone. But I saw this dude get hit in the crosswalk in Bend. And it was hella hot and humid, and, like, he fucking died right there. There was, like, people crying. There was 2 dudes holding a big piece of plywood over him to, like, give him shade and stuff. It was super gnarly. Then when I was pulling into into Portland, there was 2 motorcyclists who died on the side of the road. And they were covered up in tarps. And, I was just like, oh my god, dude, there's fucking dead people everywhere. And then my girlfriend's cousin took me for a drive around Portland, and we drove past this, like, apartment building that was getting a body taken out of it, too, and I was just like, dude, death is, like, right next to me all day today.
That's why I totally agree with, like, the idea that, not I totally agree, but, like, I get where you're coming from when you're like, God is in you. You know what I mean? Where it's like animation itself, the fact that, like,
that's the ultimate
matter.
binary. It's like you get to move, and then each movement gets to be towards, like, a good or a bad thing in your future.
A pure movement is like, but so the flip side of this, which I just realized, is like, yeah, you're moving, but, like, so do things that have a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. It gets dimensional where you're, like, you're thinking about a forwards, backwards thing. You're not thinking about, like, an above or.
That's why I hate The Matrix.
Pressure.
The Matrix made fucking dimensions so real, where it's like.
Yeah, it's a way cooler version than, like, some Interstellar shit.
Interstellar's gay, bro. Fuck Interstellar. I had, like, literally 2 people come up to me and be like, Interstellar, I cried. And I was just like, you cried? What, when Matthew McConaughey was crying?
Actually, if anything, like, Interstellar is compelling on a family sense, where it's, like, the ghost thing being him.
See, that's the thing,
like,
is
romantic and cool.
Christopher Nolan is so the fucking TikTok of, like, auteur cinema,
Dude,
though.
what'd you think of Tenet?
I didn't see that.
Check this out. I watched it twice. I, like, in between both watchings, watched a bunch of, like, YouTube videos that were, like, nerds being like, here's what's going on, here's the concept, and here's why it makes sense. And I still just, like, both times I watched it was just like, this movie fucking does not, like, hit. You know what I mean? It's a cool concept. I liked it, like, I did like it, and I'm probably not smart enough to, like, completely get it on every step of every scene.
That's so boring, though.
But yeah, it's like, dude, even, and I'm a big Kubrick fan, where it's like, I like the movie having, you know, the layers and the depth and shit like that, but at a certain point, it's like, dude, you're brushing through a concept that takes hours to explain in an action movie that only goes by in like an hour and a half. And it's like, it kind of, I don't know, it just hits. I love The Prestige so much.
That's the thing, though.
That I'm like, that dude gets a free pass for life, and I love Memento so much that I'm like, dude.
Every piece of media is a dog whistle. Going back to kind of like the Fox thing, where it's like, there's nothing that you can come to that is just like, this will fill you up. It's like, you have to have knowledge that this filled you up one time. And then, oh, they threw a little extra spice on it? Damn, I feel so satisfied right now. And it's like, I don't want to chase nostalgia like that at the end of the day.
I just, like,
you know?
I felt for him almost a little bit, where I was like, dude, you kind of went full retard with Inception. And then just, like, became that guy who was like, I'm going to give you the movie with the, like, insane meta premise every time. And it's like, dude, you like, those Batman movies rule. You know what I mean? Like, you're good at just doing a movie. For real.
That's such a bummer, too, is, like, legitimately, there wouldn't be a Marvel universe if Christopher Nolan didn't do the fucking Batman movies. Like,
dude,
those shits hit
when that first one came out, I was like,
fucking hard.
I felt
yo.
because that was like my superhero for the longest time.
Batman,
like,
yo, that's the guy. Fucking,
it was
just
the
dead. Who gives a shit?
It was like just the one that I like liked. He was fucking mad.
He was a mean boy. You know what I'm saying?
He was mad. Like, he was never nice, and like, I just like that.
I don't know. That's why I don't like Proud Boys, because they say Proud Boy, and it's like, I ain't proud, I'm just mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a fucking person, I know I ain't representing shit. What am I representing? A bunch of fucking heathens that said fuck you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just mean. These motherfucker pieces... Oh, God. I don't even want to get started, because, like, at the end of the day, the way I feel about it, mean boys, bunch of fucking pawns, you know what I'm saying? Shills. You ever heard the term shill? That's for everybody.
Shill.
Fucking...
Do you know where it comes from?
Some kind of boating thing?
Dude, we gotta get, like, a look-up guy. That'd be fun.
Jamie?
Oh, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna change the subject. So I got cursed by the fucking Sprouts girl the other day. And she's this girl where I was like, I think this girl's a witch. And it's because she doesn't look anything like what people think a witch would look like. But she just has, like, suspiciously long hair, very deep eyes. She's super cute. She's just like this girl that works at Sprouts. But she fucking...
No, honestly, there's no blonde hair witches.
She's not blonde. Well, I don't know. Actually, True Magic.
It's a lie.
Anyway.
That's a lie.
What, dude? That movie's fucking
What
pure.
color was her hair?
It was kind of red.
In what kind of way?
Oh, wait. Who are you talking about? Sprouts girl?
Sprouts girl, yeah.
Oh, her hair is like brown.
In like a natural way?
Like a European brown Dutch kind of like way. Anywho. She fucking... I went and got all these groceries. I took my hiking backpack because I was like, I'm going to get a fuckload of groceries this time. That way I don't have to go so frequently. Just because my truck's broken down and it sucks going there. And she fucking... she had my... She was like bagging up all my groceries, and she had one on this lower platform and then closed this sliding lid so that you can slide things across as you're ringing things up. But like while it was happening, I saw it and I was like, oh, I feel like one of my bags of groceries is under there. And she gave me all my shit and I just didn't really think about anything. And I came home and I was missing a whole bag of groceries, which fucking sucked, by the way, because it was like all the vegetables, so like I just only had like meat and bread and shit, you know what I mean? Like, it was just whack. And because I was like, I had made an effort to like be like, I'm gonna do this one the right way, you know what I mean? Something.
It was like the world telling you, like, hey, fuck you, and you're.
And I could have been more of a Karen about it, and like been like, oh, you know, but I didn't second guess anyone, and fucking.
Sometimes you need somebody to be like, hey, you did this job bad, dude, so you could be like, oh,
it backfired on me. And I even went through the receipt and circled all the things I didn't have, because I was like, I'm gonna go back and
say what's up
and get my shit, you know what I mean, or get my money back at least. And then fucking, I get home, and this whole week I've been like, I'm gonna buy some oranges, because I've been bartending a bunch, and like there's always all these extra oranges, and I'll just fucking eat them at the end of the night. And I'm like, dude, oranges are bomb. Why don't the fuck I have any in my house?
Why don't I own fucking oranges?
So I had a whole bag of oranges, like a potato bag. You know what I mean? Like a pillow sack.
5 pounds at least.
Heavy as fuck. That was in that backpack. I get home, those are grapefruits. I swear to God, this fucking witch jinxed me. And this is what this subject is I want to know what your thoughts are on like jinxes, curses, hexes, and not in like a big way, just like people wishing you ill intent, and like that finding its way to you easier.
Hold on. Sorry.
So the grapefruits or the oranges are fucking grapefruits. Nobody eats fucking grapefruit. Nobody my age. It's like, you gotta be a fucking pervert to do that. Your phone's ringing, dude. Again. Who is this? Tara.
Sorry.
You can answer it.
It's a text message.
God damn. Anywho. So I get home and I'm like a little disenchanted by my fucking grocery experience. I go to get some cigarettes. The fucking dude, he just like, the dude at that store, he just grabs my cigarettes and hands them to me most times. And he did, and I didn't look at anything, and that was the night I had the fucking wrong cigarettes. Too, and I was like, dude, I'm fucking cursed by this bitch. And she's not a bitch either. I just fucking, she's fine.
So, it's kind of like...
Hold on. This goes deeper, dude.
I know. You said don't get it deep.
No, and then I fucking go to Save Mart a couple days later, and I was like, I'm just going to get some sausages, because I need some fucking fatty meats up in this body,
Need some fucking preservatives.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that shit's...
No, not like the... No, uncooked sausages, baby. Like, the weird shit, the bad cuts.
That's all I ate when I was fucking on bike tour, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a... When
you
burn it off, it's totally worth it.
That shit will stay.
Yeah. Here. Thanks. Fucking... So I get home, and I like the beer brats. That's my jam. The Johnsonville beer brats. They go good on the old bowel system. And I get home, and they're the cheddar tailgate brats. They're like gross. They're like hot dog meat and cheese.
Cheddar worst.
Dude, so fucking great. And I tried to eat them all. I fucking threw away.
You didn't fuck with that?
I threw away half of them.
Okay, that's when you came back from fucking the witch, right?
Yeah. And these are all things that have happened to me since then. And
so you're telling me... So, to recap...
It's starting to stack up, dude.
You went to Sprouts thinking you were prepared to go do some shit at a foreign place. Because Sprouts...
It's not
always
that
be on
foreign,
some
though.
foreign shit. So,
it's weird. It's out of my element, but also I've been going there since day one, and like I feel like I don't feel unfamiliar in there. You know what I'm saying? I know where everything is.
Okay.
But at the same time, I do feel like they don't want me in there the whole time.
How do I feel about curses? I think they're real. I think that witches and magic are real. I think that the idea that we have gotten past the ability to mentally fuck somebody up just by putting in mental effort is, like,
You think
ridiculous. Yeah. I think that, like, so I think witchcraft, so this is, like, where I've not necessarily drawn the line, but I've definitely, like, realized, like, a mental barrier for myself is, like, we were talking about this last time we were hanging out, where it's, like, men have, like, a drive towards religion, and women have a drive towards witchcraft, which is obviously not a solid binary, and it's not some sexist shit, but I'm just saying
It
that,
all
like,
adds up to me, dude.
I'm just saying that, like,
They're all witches.
the witch thing is a drive to manipulate the forces that humans themselves create, which is the biggest blind side of the male handicap of favoring religion, because we think that most, if not all, circumstances are outside of our control / our ability to realize how they got there. And the witchcraft element comes in when they realize how much of the human element is actually present in everything we do. So, when you go to Sprouts and a witch is having a bad day and she be working that counter, hell, who knows? Because I didn't set up that spell.
Well, I'm sorry. And I also...
Why are you sorry? That's the thing also, is she wants. Is she wants to be sorry.
I went back in there, got her on the same register again, had the receipt in my pocket, and didn't bring it up. So... Which I don't know what that means, but I just, like, for some reason felt like I didn't care enough about, like, $7 worth of veggies to, like, hold up her line and, like, make it all awkward. I don't, you know what I mean?
You're gonna lie to me right now?
No, for reals. I was just there where I was
You're
just like...
You're telling me... So, no. I'm gonna stop you right here.
And I know that's...
Little piss. No.
That's
Why?
not...
No. Yeah. I know. You were gonna make a joke. You didn't even make a joke about interrupting people. You didn't. So, I'm gonna do it.
I do have... I got a bad habit of interrupting him. This is
you're gonna tell me
cigarette.
That you're gonna go and fucking stop a person working at a gas pump because she's not beautiful. You don't find a middle-aged, aging woman beautiful, and say that the woman that did the same thing to you didn't. She did all that stuff on some witchcraft shit.
I would just say that. So what Blake is referring to is
a situation where Jaren Tellu saved my ass, which is, I have to preface it with that, where, like, I was totally in a situation where I was just gonna leave my balls on the fucking counter, and this fool came in and swooped them up and said, "These are my boys' balls. You can't have these balls. We need this gas.
We need these balls and these gas.
And these gas." And we had guns in the car.
Blake bought
Nobody
gasoline.
said nothing.
Blake bought gasoline at a gas pump. We went out to go pump the gas. It didn't work. We went back in. The lady was like, "Oh, you told me the wrong pump, and somebody got your gas already."
That's exactly what happened.
And then she was like, "There's nothing I can do for you." And then I went in there and raised hell to the point where the lady was like, "Well, all we could really do is, like, go check the security camera and see what he said." And I was like, "I got time. Go do that." And she made me wait like 20 minutes maybe. But the point is, we got our goddamn gasoline.
And you know what?
And also, she came out, I just want to give her this credit. She could have totally fucking lied and been like, he didn't say pump 6, he said pump 7 or whatever. But she came out with her head hanging low and was like, he's right, give him the gasoline. And it was like, here's the difference between that bitch and the fucking witch bitch. Is the witch bitch is like 18 years old. Maybe.
You're not excited about that?
I don't care.
You don't care?
Just hear me out.
That somebody's having a good time at that age?
Hear me out.
Okay.
She's 18. The gasoline bitch is like 50-something. I expect you to have a 50-something-year-old's amount of fucking resolution and like approach to things, and be able to just be like, oh, this is a simple misunderstanding. You know what I mean? Like, and that was why I was outraged too. I was just like, there's nothing but adults working here right now. What the fuck's the problem? Like, what the fuck? As with the kids and everything, I'm like, I walked in, hippie grocery store, everything's fucking green. There's a vegan version of fucking everything everywhere. Everyone has purple hair. I know what I signed up for.
I didn't get my fucking
I know what I signed up for. I'm gonna go to a grocery store and lose all the most nutritious things I bought, and that's just the fucking way it is sometimes. And maybe you like, I don't need to drill into that girl that she did that, because like, I also gave her the time to tell me to like acknowledge
She's just
it
the element in the story. You know what I mean? Like,
I gave her the chance to do it in our second interaction, and she didn't do it. And that does make me a pussy for not bringing it up, but at the same time, I just kind of was like, charged it to the game, where I was like, you know, you go to certain places and the change comes back weird, and that's not just, you know, that makes sense.
it's like,
But she did. But I'm not even necessarily saying she is a witch and she cursed me. I'm just saying that happened, and then that happened, and then shit like that kept happening to me all the time, where it was like, dude, damn it, again. I went to go buy a lighter. They couldn't do debit card, and then the dude was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And then I had a fucking like 3/4 of a dollar bill in my wallet. I don't know why I have it. This guy scammed me one time and gave me change, and I've just kept it in my wallet as like a weird life lesson. But I tried to give it to this dude, and I even told him it was ripped, but I was like, the bank will accept it because it's more than half. Blah blah blah.
Try to explain your way out.
And like, he was like, oh, you're cool, but he didn't really speak English and was just like ignoring me. And then when he looked at it, he was like, buddy, what the fuck's up with this? Like, and I was just like, dude, I told you. Like, I don't know. But that's another thing that happened to me. I didn't get a lighter one day, which not having a lighter when you have cigarettes is way worse than not having cigarettes. Way worse. Seriously. It's like having to shit when you're hungry. It's so bad.
I've literally sparked smokes off of fucking the sun, out of a fucking like a magnifying glass. I don't give a fuck. If I got the ciggies and I need some fucking light, I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I used the barbecue at work the other day to light a cigarette because I forgot my fucking lighter. But
that
I was
shit
there
needs
for like,
to happen.
Oh, dude, I was pissed.
How you gonna, like, so on a funny tip, if you got the smack, you got the fucking heroin, you got the fucking smacking, you know what I'm saying? If you got that shit and you ain't got a fucking needle, you'll go blow over a whole ass CVS to find a needle. You don't give a fuck.
I can't imagine. I've smoked weed under the most like nefarious circumstances possible. I feel like, you know, just like right off of a radiator or some shit, like so bad. Yeah, if you're hooked on some smack.
Oh god, we're schmackied out honestly on some liquor.
Okay.
Oof. You got one more question for me?
One more question for you.
Sheesh, we're gonna have to call it soon, man.
Yeah, this will be the last one. Okay. Why was Donald Trump the greatest president of all time?
Oh, that's fucked up, man. You're just trying to grind into my fucking all of it, huh?
I just think they're...
you lead with the P question, you end with the fucking Trump question.
I tried to think of ones that
are fucking
like,
rile people up.
The question itself is like, could go in any direction, but spreads a lot of tentacles out, and then it's like, you know, then we got a lot of tentacles to work with.
I think, so, you might not like this question, but, this answer. I think
I
Donald
already
Trump.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you started that.
No, because you like Donald Trump. Because you're a fucking bitch. You like Donald Trump?
I am a little.
I'm gonna
bitch.
air the fucking. I'm gonna air the grease. You like Donald Trump?
Just as like a sign of the times, yeah, he was amazing. Because
That's
it was just
fucking-
like, yes, this is what it really is, for reals.
Okay. As far as Bedrock goes,
It was like a dumbass, honest. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't vote for the dude ever, but I did think that he was way more like, just like. He was so bad. Oh
so
my god!
This goes into
he was
what-
bad. He was so bad.
This goes into
yeah.
exactly like the reason why I think so.
I think you're confusing my fascination with him with
that's
reverence, and I really don't like.
That's where we'll come together.
I don't. In a leader sense. I don't think the dude was cool in any sense.
We have complete.
But just having a
reverence.
guy who's running for office who's like,
Exactly.
listen, when I get in there, I'm gonna fucking tell you about the aliens, and I'm gonna tell you what happened to JFK and shit. It's like, I was all on board. I that's the first time you've ever heard anyone up there say something.
This is the funniest
like
thing is like. So
and he's a total cunt. He's just like, listen.
He says, grab him by the pussy.
Listen, it's
That
going to be
shit
the
fucking
greatest.
killed
I'm
me,
going to give
bro.
you the greatest this. It's going to be the best one of those. You've never heard of this. Women are pigs. Like, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It was just like,
It was all bad.
holy shit.
It was all bad. It was like
holy shit.
the fucking. So.
I'm not on board at all,
no.
but it was
Like,
a huge fan just in the sense of like, oh my god, this is actually worth tuning into a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
that was the worst part. Is like
because
Fox
once you're
never
the
had better
president,
ratings. Like
that's like a famous quote. Once you're the president, you're only halfway up. So, it's just kind of cool to me that like just a rich dude was like,
fuck it,
I'll
let's
show
do
you.
it.
I'll show you, and then fucking did it, and then was also like, cool. I got 4 years to just run my mouth and be a total cunt, and like, I don't know. There's something very American about that actually even happened at all and could have happened. It also broke everyone's brain. It literally divided everyone up. Right then's when everyone was just like, where do you stand? You know.
so.
I was in the bar when he got elected. People were crying.
I know.
Crying.
I know. I was there for fucking people crying. Like, at the end of the day, this is the problem. Is that Trump rode the razor so hard. His ass... You ever seen a picture of his ass?
Oh, he's got a donk.
He's got a donk. That ass was fucking spliced. As far as I'm concerned. Like, Okay. For me, the reason why Donald Trump is the best president is because he was everything and nothing at the same time. And I think, hear me out. Hear me out. Don't even say
I'm
nothing.
listening.
On the punk tip of things, which is not to conflate the two. Donald Trump is not punk, but punk is punk. The Stooges definitely allowed punk to happen, and Donald Trump allowed the next century to happen.
I like that.
That's
what I'm saying. I feel like he was just a reality shock to people of just like it reminded me, like, that was my favorite thing with COVID, is I feel like
the next fucking cycle is going to be so fucked up.
Yeah, like, whoever you really were before COVID got really accentuated during COVID, I feel like. Like, if you were an authoritarian or a cop or a fucking shit talker, someone who goes behind people's, you know what I mean? It's just like all of that got really accentuated. Or if you were like really open-minded, all of a sudden, you know, you were in that zone. And like, or if you, just whatever you were into. If you were really into fucking being on your own and being alone, probably wasn't even that big of a deal. But if you were like a real big, I define myself by like who I'm around the whole time, and then that got cut off a lot of, you probably got locked in with like whoever you were at that time too, and I like that a lot. And I feel like Donald Trump did that to a lot of people, where they just like, even people maybe who weren't necessarily full-blown white racist people, but just like are total get along people, like fucking monkey see monkey doers, they're just like, oh shit, it's our fucking time right now. And it was
at the
cool.
same time though,
it was
it's
cool
like,
to see in my opinion, it was cool to see half the country come out and be like, we're still fucking here, and we still like, dude, we don't, because it's good, like, that's the real thing. That's the real thing. And
the
then
way
it was also
though,
good to see that it was like,
real.
there's the other side too, that is like, that's what we've been talking about the whole time. And because there are people in the middle who are just like, well, I don't have any fucking opinion at all about this. And he was kind of one of those people where it was like,
you better have an opinion.
I don't like splitting everything up into a binary, but it made it to a point where it was like a little more unignorable. And I don't think that was his intention at all, but I do think that was like kind of a positive, because it's funny to watch like people who don't have any black friends or anything like that, like pussyfoot around topics and shit like that, because it's like they go into it with so much less confidence and shit nowadays, and it's like, I don't know, it's refreshing to me, honestly. It's like, it's probably a fear of like cancel culture and stuff too, which is something I'm super against, but I'm just trying to see the posy in everything too. Is like, because I just remember hating George Bush so much.
And being like, man, that fool paints the best
like,
pictures.
You know what I mean?
Like,
now we're just like, dude, I'm weirdly sentimental for that fucking dumbass. Like,
well, so part of the Trump thing is like, that fool was definitely.
And I voted for Obama.
That fool was
I feel like I'm coming off real crazy right now. I voted for Obama.
No. You can't say Obama.
No. But that was the most scammed I ever felt in politics ever, actually, was like voting for that dude, and then everything's still going down the same way. And
you're like, it was worse?
Yeah, it was just
in the Middle East, it was worse? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like
crazy.
The beginning of drone shit and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
that fool's too white. You get Chief Keef up in the office, it's done, bro. There's nobody fighting. Like, at the end of the day, the way I feel about it is like, so Trump was the best example we ever had.
He was the best.
You ever had a dad?
He was the best president of the 2000s.
Whether you had a dad or not, in the last fucking 100 years, he was either crazy or not there. The way I feel about it. Who had a good dad? Nobody.
Mark Nesbitt.
Yeah. You ever heard of a Mark Nesbitt before? You ever heard of that guy?
There's a lot of guys like that.
Yeah. But they be doing things? Who be doing things?
Sometimes. Sorta. They do their own things.
That's
they don't like getting dangerous because they're like, that's not where they're from or anything too. It's like, I feel like everyone wants everyone to like come on to Edgyville where they're from, and it's like, dude.
So the way I feel about Trump is that he showed everybody that because we were in such a privileged position to watch somebody go to war in our safe climate, which is like impossible to do. And so this fool went to war, and we all realized that simultaneously, we all realized that going to war sucks because nothing makes sense. The fog of war is real. You'll kill your own fucking best friend because you didn't fucking watch your like trigger safety as you were going up to shoot somebody, and you fucking murked that guy. And it's like, the thing is that politics are not safe. Like, the guy that we fucking want to do anything is gonna kill somebody. He's gonna sign off on people getting killed. And Trump showed us that if a guy that fucking thinks that you don't have to go do that, even if you have the power to pull everybody out of fucking Afghanistan, you have the power to do that, you know what's gonna happen? The next guy's gonna get shit on for having everybody pull out, and then fucking Taliban are gonna come back and fuck everything progressive up that you thought was fucking tight that we were doing over there. The fact that women have fucking...
That's not what we're doing over there, though.
I know, but that's what people think we're doing.
What we're doing over there since before 9/11. And it's like, that's why I don't harp on fucking Biden bombing Syria or anything like that. It's because, like, that shit has been on the agenda for fucking 20 years. And acting like, I don't know, just acting dumb like, oh my god, now it's on the TV. Like, what? That's so infuriating.
No, I think so. I think the idea that you have to find something good and everything that's bad is a handicap. You know what I mean? Where it's just like ultimately, at the end of the day, I think the whole charade was fucked. Like, the idea that we have somebody
this
that
is
everybody pays
this
attention
is
to,
exactly how everyone felt at the end of Vietnam. It's just like, oh, so we're just gonna leave, and
so we're fucked,
and they're shooting us on the way out.
So we're fucked.
So nothing for no one.
Yeah, and it's like, for me, the best thing anybody could do is unplug. If you only deal with the 9 people you deal with every day, you'll go crazy.
That's my whole thing.
But somebody will have
talk
some
shit
rings
on the
you.
people around you. Like, quit trying to pretend like your brain is big enough to contemplate who you should hate on a geopolitical scale.
Amen.
And remember that fucking dude stole your chick or something. You know what I mean? It's like redirect. I'm not saying do anything drastic. I just think
you already redirected those.
I just think that talking shit on the people you want to talk shit on in your subconscious, like what's really bothering you type of thing, is going to be way better for you than pretending like you're helping somehow by, like, you know, blowing everyone's mind at a beer bar or something. It's like, dude, no. Go back to remembering who wronged you and talk shit on those people. For reals, clean your room first, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking, like, start local. And not on some shit about, like, oh, you're fucking racist, you're this, you're that. Just on some shit of, like, you were always a dick to me. Fuck you. Like, that's the way to do it, I think.
Amen, brother.
And also, don't be aggressive about it either.
No, I say, honestly...
dude, I personally...
grind some gears.
Like, I have waited... Oh my god, I waited years. This is a
grind
long
some
time coming.
fucking gear.
But this dude
I know that
fucking...
shit's satisfying, but, like, legitimately...
Grind gears?
Grind some gears.
No, grind gears.
Say nah.
But also, you have to deal with, like, being the aggressor and all that shit, too. But it all pays off in the end. It really does. There was, like, a fucking dude that choked me out at work one time in front of everybody. It was a big deal. I've never forgotten all the dudes that watched that and just fucking acted like, oh, but that dude's like the cooler dude. Like, I can't really do anything right now. And then I just found out that dude fucking, like, cheated on his wife and all this shit. And it's just like, just
Bullies
a normal fucking dude. No, not even a bully. Just like a normal fucking dude who fucking has his own problems and all that shit. But it's just nice to be like, cool, I'm not crazy. Like, I wasn't on, like, the wrong side. It's just the
world.
It's the world, you know. It's just shit's
like,
shifting around.
People get that shit fucked up where it's like, no, this isn't the world telling you something. This is like you being in the world is telling you something.
And I shouldn't enjoy that happened to those people, but it's just it feels a little validating to just be like, oh yeah, your fucking shit stinks too, you know, like. And I didn't have anything to do with that, by the way.
I think that's maybe the biggest thing with Donald Trump is, like, we are done saying, like, we don't have to ignore you as a person to, like, get your ideas across. Like, people have their own ideas now. Like, the idea that conspiracy theories are filtered down through the government is, like, so infuriating to me because, no. Like, people be thinking hard upwards, you know what I mean? Like, people be like, what happened here? And the fact that people be doing that is what makes the world happen. Like, the fact that there's a guy driving that fucking truck that is delivering your shit that isn't thinking right now, like, that's why I side with with the class.
Big Randy.
Big Randy. That guy needs all that space. Like, legitimately.
Let Big Randy live.
Exactly.
He lives big.
That fool definitely got your shit there on time.
We have a bunch of space. You know what I mean? Like, let everyone...
That fool needs a fucking sex worker to come fucking crack his pepper for him. And he needs all that space. Tell you what, that lot lizard was taken care of. That fool definitely ate the pussy.
I was trying to think of a joke about him being like a crocodile tamer or something.
He definitely ate the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You got all that space?
And weirdly has the immunity to fight all those radioactive STDs.
I don't even want to get into it, but...
Dude, those are some economy level fucking main freeway STD. You know what I'm saying? Those
cross country. That's the super spreader that we're all talking about.
Yeah, definitely. The sooner we can get a bunch of Tesla bots driving those routes, the better.
How are we gonna wrap this up?
I think I have a thing. Let me look at my notebook real quick. Okay.
I do definitely agree with the idea that, like, you're gonna put a burden on these, like, simpletons, you definitely gotta give them a release valve.
For sure.
That's why, honestly, people won't say it, but the reason why we have sex workers is because that needs to happen. Like, it wouldn't be a job unless it needed to happen.
Oh, yeah.
People be like, oh, it's the oldest job in the books. And it's like, yeah, because that shit needed to get done.
Social media, actually, this is where we should end. I'm not even going to do this. Social media has got this idea that, like, you could document all your shit and then it would all be entertaining. But they didn't really take into account that it's like 50% everything is just like dreary and lame and hard, and you at work making the money to go to go take the pictures and shit. And it's gotten out of control. It's gotten really out of control to the point where it's like people that you initially just liked their surfing photos or something, or like expecting you to take like a hard stance on like their politics or like some social shit that has happened to them with, like, you know, they want you to pile on to somebody or I'm gonna knock the mic over and but shit like that where it's like it's created like the illusion of the relationship a little bit too much, where I think everyone thinks we're a little more connected than we are, but we're also too connected at the same time. Like we see too much without hearing what's going on, without understanding what's going on. We just see, and then we get to interpret a lot too, and that's like, I personally hate Instagram. Like, I only watch crazy Russian car crash videos and, like, animal attack videos and shit like that. Because it, like, for the most part, doesn't make me feel good. If I go through my real feed and just, like, see my friends having a good time and stuff, it's like, I should enjoy that, but I don't. And it doesn't make me feel good at all. And, it's not the real world either. I know that I'm getting like a picture when everyone knows there's a picture, and it's gotta look envious. You know what I mean? That's like what everyone's goal is. It's like I want you to want to be here in this picture. And that's why I unfollowed so many people during the election too. Is like I had too many people. I'd be sitting in my bed and just like have a friend of mine who likes me screaming at the camera in video format, screaming about how bad like politics are, or even just like being a man, you know, like literally screaming at not necessarily me, but who I am in general, you know what I mean? Or being racist towards me in some way, where it's like, oh no, but this is okay right now because this is, you're like a cis white man or something. I just like, was like, I don't need this, even if it's right or wrong. I definitely don't need to be feeling any of these feelings in my bed. This is my bed. This is my zone. This is my private zone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you in here.
I don't think people know that, like, when they make something...
And that's my fault, too.
It comes up on their phone, you know?
Yeah. That's my fault, too, because that's just the way I had my phone set up. And then the election rolled around. Black Lives Matter happens. Antifa, all that shit. And it's just like... Everyone's losing their minds. Everyone's locked up. The only way to communicate with everyone is, like... through that's hitting me in my bed, and I was just like, what the fuck are we all doing?
So much.
What the fuck? No, fuck this. Like, first of all, if this was this important, it wouldn't be over some video chat shit, for reals. Like, if it was, like, this important to everyone, and I'm not saying, like, a lot of good things don't happen because of the ability to communicate. I'm just saying, like, the way you are using this, the person that I had to, like, unfollow for a while, the many persons, fucking is a little too much of a, like, show and not enough action for me. And also, I can't have you screaming at me. I'm in my bed, in my underwear. I gotta chill.
That's why I love the talking heads, because they realize
I'm curious about where you think social media is going to go in the future and stuff too, because it's like there's not anything new to do really. There's like variants of what we do already.
Well, it's just post Frontier West. It's like they didn't do anything to move, you know. They just did everything inwards, and it's like, I don't know. It's like with OnlyFans going full not porn.
I guess they went back.
Yeah, so
they took that back.
For me, it's like the idea is like niches. We're gonna have a trillion, bazillion niches of like, hey,
yeah, that makes sense.
You know this crazy thing from like 20 years ago that like was very eye catching? We found out a way to make a whole market off of that, and that's gonna be like essentially spoon-fed to you to make you like the most addicted person to our brand of outrage. And for me, like social media is like very outrageous. Like the whole idea is outrageous.
How does that work with like singularity though? Because I feel like with because here's my conundrum, is that I feel like with technology we're actually getting more divisive, whereas like it seems like the goal is to like get it all on the same time and schedule and shit.
That's the double-edged sword of technology, is like we think that humans, like, so at the same time we don't trust humans, we think humans can have a thing that happens like that, where we think that America can come into a point and be the world police that we need it to be.
Yeah.
But we forget that it's like 20 million people at the lowest estimate that have to make all those things happen. That's a lot of like, my people, me as a human being, damn, bro. I tell you what, that was like, you know what? That's not even my like earliest work order. Like, I got a lot of shit to get to. Bro, I don't know about getting to that fucking making the world happen shit. You know what I mean?
I have one more question.
It's tough.
I have one more question.
Okay. We'll send it off here. Let's get it straight.
What do you think in my opinion, like trans culture is a little religious, in a sense that it requires like a faith-based orient in certain things. Like, you need to just believe people and shit. Do you think there's like a future cult in the mix of stuff like that? Or what do you think the next big cult will be if it's not? In my opinion, that's the closest one, because you can't really pull off like a camp cult anymore. It has to be like Zoom meeting style.
Honestly,
with
like
2-day shipping, but like
as far as like leftist thought goes, like trans and trans rights are essentially the hill I will die on. Like, whenever somebody brings something up, it is legitimately like something that like tugs at me, because it's like, for me, the male female like dynamic, it's like, yeah, you have a pussy, yeah, you have a fucking dick. Like, for me, if I wanted to get into some like real pro-human shit, I would say I don't give a fuck. Honestly, like,
exactly, yeah. It's
no,
like,
but beyond like not giving a fuck is like, for me, the fucking like the idea that the First Amendment is like really propounded on is like absolute expressive freedom, where it's like I don't give a fuck, like you could literally, like, if you felt that your soul needed to express something that is beyond the world, I think that's like the most fucked up form to down somebody like that. That's the most fucked up form of fucking like saying no to somebody.
yeah.
Because it's like, what you were saying earlier about like the people, like people having like these like instantaneous fucking thoughts that kind of come almost from God.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have so little fucking like control and like bearing on what my own psyche was, that like if somebody else came to me and was like, hey, I don't think I'm like right here right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I wouldn't say no. I'd be like, damn, bro, you got it harder than me. Like, I don't know. So for when it comes down to it, it's like people always try to have like a backstop. Everybody's backstop right now on trans issues is fucking like Olympics and like people competing against each other. And it's like, maybe you're fucked up for having a competition against people. Who gives a flying fuck who's the hardest? Like, and I know that's not what people want to hear, because everybody loves competition, and I do too. I love getting hype on some stupid shit. But we have to realize it's some stupid shit. This fool literally picked up the most shit, and that's what you're mad about? About people picking up the most shit? That's gonna fucking kill me right now if you're talking about people picking up the most shit right now. Like, you know what I mean? I don't mean to get worked up about it, but for real.
The sports one
is fucking real.
The sports one's funny because it's like you couldn't get a guy to talk about this forever. And then, you know, your average dude. And then as soon as it became a sports thing, and it was women's sports too. It's like they don't even give a shit about women's sports. But all of a sudden, as soon as it's in sports, it's like a real deal thing. I'm actually on board with it not being okay in sports, just because I think sports are specifically designed to be a rule-based game that you play, and then whoever followed the rules and won is the winner. And that's my problem with that, is I do think that coming in as like a 30-year-old man or whatever to the women's, that's not fair.
So at the same
but
time,
I also don't
like,
give
who
a shit.
said yeah?
I also don't give a shit about New Zealand weightlifting or anything like that. I'm just saying, if I was being totally honest with how my path of logic works, when it comes to sports, they have all the rules. Like, that's the reason they're there, is so that the game can happen in a civilized way without anyone feeling the least disparaged, basically. And
but
at the same, but also I have so many fucking trans friends that are the real deal. You know what I mean? Like, you've known them, you've watched them grow up and shit. You've watched them go through the whole damn fucking shebang. I got ones that were like my babysitter, and I babysit their children, and then they transitioned and shit, and it was like a whole family fucking problem. You know what I mean? It was like a thing in my life before it was a thing in the news.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But having grown up around, like, what I consider to be the real deal, which is like people that live it and don't fucking complain and shit the whole time, and it's like the last thing they ever wanted was to be the center of attention type of thing. I feel like I have seen a shitload of imposters just disparage the name of the whole thing, you know, for the sake of them going through one thing or another. But it's like, yeah, maybe you didn't need to raise a huge ruckus about the whole fucking thing, though. Maybe you were just kind of like dipping a toe in, or, you know, whatever you want to. I'm no fucking judgment. I just know some people who have just they went the real deal all the way, you know, changed the fucking bits and all, and fucking I don't know, it's a weird thing that it's like you're not allowed to talk about it unless you are allowed to talk about it, and like type of thing, or you're not allowed to talk about how it goes wrong for a lot of people.
I don't know.
And
the way I feel about it is like, this is almost it's a cop out.
And I love cool people too. Like, I've met some trans people where I was just like, that person is awful, awful.
This is the worst. Like, as a person who feels like they're like caught up in the machinations of the world, I think that there is so much to the phrase "live and let live."
Yeah.
That like for me, that phrase it is
sucks to suck.
No, it's exactly, it's nefarious.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that like you can like not worry about how another person is living. It's like, no, like, the fact that you can do that is literally the only thing keeping you alive right now. You should definitely not in a sense that like you should. I think that people, like, the tone of the way you interact with the world is like so key. People forget that like the atmosphere you create is fucking like literally the only thing you have control of.
Yeah.
So when I say live and let live, the idea is like your ability to live, and the fact that you have the phrase live and let live is enough for you to just say, well, how about that? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. With news and everything, it's like,
you can't have it all either.
Exactly. It's like you have enough. Yeah. I tell people all the time,
you already have too much. Like,
this is the
what
best.
Your life is going to be is plenty.
This is the best. We have fucking literally inert, non-animated matter doing shit for us 24/7. So the fact that you are bummed about anything is like so privileged. You want to talk about some privilege? The fact that you have a second to say, oh shit, this is fucked up, that's privilege. Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear about any kind of privilege, because, like, you know what?
The tightest is you can just, like, you can bitch about anything.
Exactly. And it's like,
it's so cool.
Don't forget that our country is literally founded on bitching.
There's places, yeah, where it's over. Because you said that. Like,
nobody bitches anymore.
This podcast, it wasn't even bad. And, like, you could get in serious fucking trouble in certain countries.
We would be beheaded. Like, legitimately. They'd be like, what'd you say about fucking
Big Randy? Yeah, for all the weed and shit. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
This is the 11th podcast. It is, like, 300% bigger than all the rest of them, but that's just because we got wrapped into a big convo.
It was good.
It was good, yeah.
All of it.
It was super good, yeah. I didn't want it to be fucking a bunch of current events and douchey shit lined up. I don't know. I wanted it to be a little more.
No, that's conversation.
Yeah,
Honestly,
hang
I'm
outy.
gonna say right now, we held it down. If anybody comes at us, I'm gonna say like, did you listen?
Yeah.
Did you listen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you heard trans one time? I tell you what, you didn't hear the part about how I said I would die on that hill. And I mean that. I legit mean that, where it's just like, you want to fucking...
I'm angry.
You want to shit post? Yeah, I'm angry. Legit, where it's just like, you're going to come at me angry about trans people? You should be like so stoked that human beings have the possibility to think outside of our physical boundaries. You're a fucking retard if you don't think that shit's tight.
Yeah, dude.
Straight up. That's going out to anybody that listens to it.
All right.
Yeah, if you don't like trans people, you're retarded. That's my last words.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also, there are some retarded trans people.
Yeah.
I
That
will
shit
say
happens.
that, too. You guys are not doing anybody any favors.
Do yourself a favor and fucking get hyped on being you. I bet you that body's fucking hot as shit. If that's what you're going for. But if you're just going for some standard shit where you're not trying to be hot, that shit's tight as fuck too. I'm hyped for anybody that's about themselves. I'm sick of people being down. If you got a bad look on your face, get fucked.
Yeah. So this is Blake Nelson. And,
Sorry, I had to get fucked up to say everything I just said.
And Jaron Coxon. We're signing off.
Signing off.
You know, be the change in the world that you want to see. And,
live, laugh, love.
Yeah. And only good vibes. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you next time.
Love y'all.